starting right now.
Okay. Do I hit that?
You want to put the camera on me? And I put that one on her already. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And when do I start this?
It.
Okay, ready?
We'll have to wait for the credits.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll start.
No credits.
Okay, welcome back to Pofolk Community for Justice. I'm Apostle Cecil Hatchett, and today I have a wonderful guest over here to my left side, and she'll be telling you all about Chapter 11 and other matters that are taking place right now that involves lots of other people. So, and she'll give her name and all of her information. So, without any further ado, please introduce yourself.
Cynthia Lester. I'm a member of the OCDLA, Oregon Criminal Defense Lawyers Association. I am not a lawyer. I'm going to start off with a video that I would like you to watch. Should I give them my information?
Mm-hmm. Oh, you can do whatever you want to do.
Why did it go on mode? Look. It went, oh, here we go.
And while she's getting that information up.
Mm-hmm. Okay. There's music that goes with it. Where is it?
Through blessings, everything will work out fine. I don't sweat nothing. People will start calling in and I'll have to shut that conversation down.
I wanted them to hear the music.
They can hear it in the back room back there.
Okay. All right. That's what I want to talk about is the juvenile law.
Okay.
in young adults that are being put under Measure 11. They don't have the opportunity to develop, and when they do, they're going to develop in the prison system. That's not a family, that's not a parent. Also, the homeless. I'm seeing a lot of homeless out there that are under Measure 11s and criminal convictions, so they are homeless. They do not have the opportunity to get an apartment, a job, and then they fall back into the prison system due to not being able to report that to their PO. But they're set up for failure by the court. Also, the mentally ill, same thing. Instead of getting them help, they're locking them up and throwing away the key. Also, there was rape kits. Senate Bill 1571 requires police to adopt rules for testing sexual assault evidence kits. The bill comes after there's more than 5,000 rape kits last year that went untested on evidence shelves across the state. Well, it passed 28-0 and is now headed to the House. How many of those 5,000 are sitting in prison without DNA evidence? Quite a few. Abolishing Oregon Measure 11 so that the justice system can no longer abuse the law is the way to go, so it reforms the justice system. So abolishing it and then giving the judge the reins to actually sentence the individual case, and it would not be under mandatory minimum sentence. It would just be under individual.
This is your camera.
I'm sorry. No one told me. So each case at this point remains the same regardless of, because it falls under a violent crime. And that's what the DAs are trying to do. Lawmakers also add laws that affect Oregon Measure 11 without the voters' consent. There's a new state Senate bill, 1600, creates an exception to 12 years of statutes of limitations for serious sex crimes, including rape, sodomy, sex, and sex abuse of a child. Prosecutors could bring charges if new concrete evidence emerges. Well, that's giving someone 12 years to even make a hearsay out of something, and then you're taking the DNA, then at that point doesn't matter. Again, that's not right, and it affects Oregon Measure 11. Inmates are afraid of filing for their appeals now. They're getting more time for their, it's like a threat, and it does become a promise. So now inmates are afraid to do their appeals, and in that fear of getting that time. Also, I wrote an article for the East Oregonian newspaper, and I'd like to share that with you. Sorry. Okay.
While she's bringing this information up, okay.
Go ahead, though.
Oh, please go ahead.
No, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Well, she's bringing that information up. I'll just be speaking to people about Measure 11. It's very horrible, and they give you outlandish sentences, and they base it on where the sex offender that had committed a crime, and that party had seriously committed a serious crime, and they were arrested, and they based it, putting a Measure 11 together on taking people away from society based on that individual. And when people tried to appeal it, they were still trying to base it on, they were thinking that it was going to be very violent, vicious people out there being released out into society, and that they were painting a picture those would be the kind of people that they would be properly arresting, but that's not the case at all. It's just an opportunity, especially when you Negro, colored, black, African Americans, and I'm saying that because it's important to me, is that you're easily put in prison over 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, 25 years, 300 months.
Yes.
And it's terrible because once you get in the system, you're there and your life is gone. And if you have family or children that you love, you're not going to be able to be restored to them. Plus, you won't be able to carry guns or have any weapons or have them around you. And so it's just a really horrible thing that be taking place, how the system is working, gathering up people without fail, put them in prison or put them in jail, and making it so easy to lock people up and destroy their lives. And there's nothing waiting them in terms of an income or being able to get a good job or going to prison. There, people talk like they're going to send you back to school and you'll be able to get re-educated or better educated. That doesn't work at all. That's if you got money and if your parents got money and family members are able to pay your way through school, they'll help make that possible. But if you're in prison and you don't have nothing, you're just working for slave wages.
Yep.
In prison, you're not going to ever be able to go to school and go to college or get anything accomplished. And then after you do your sentence, so that's a big jug of your life gone that you can never recover. And the system is good for that, for destroying human beings and taking advantage of human beings. And it's just horrible because that's going on right now to the day. And when you try to fight, you try and bring these people to justice, the system will say, dismiss the case or affirm without opinion. They'll do that because I've dealt with this system, and anytime you want to fight them, you're trying to get honest lawyers or lawyers to stand up for you or stand up for your rights, and they do that, affirm without opinion. And that's what's happening to the young people today. Yes. And so did you find the information, sister?
I did.
Okay, so without any further ado, we'll go right back to you. Go ahead, hon.
Okay, thank you. I wrote this, it's in the East Oregonian newspaper. Barbara Dickerson has made the people believe reforming Oregon Measure 11 by handing it to the judge to make the decision will reform Measure 11. In fact, it doesn't change Measure 11 guidelines. The judge would also also has to follow those guidelines. Look at the Hammonds. They have to finish their sentence based on mandatory minimum sentencing. Reform will not release anyone who is sentenced under Measure 11. Measure 11 is meant for first-time offenders. The district attorney charges the defendant with more than one Measure 11 offense, so the bargaining tool is on the table for a sure conviction. In my opinion, the D.E.A. extorts human life, telling the defendant, if you take this plea, you get less time, or the state will give the defendant more time if it goes to trial. In fear of all the many threats the DA gives defense, the defendant takes a plea. The inmate should follow and exhaust all appeals, bringing allegations against the court's ethics violations. This includes defense attorneys, district attorneys, judges, and police. Measure 11 looks like a form of human trafficking. Abolishing Oregon Measure 11 is a start to reforming the Oregon justice system and stopping some of the corruption in the justice system. Measure 11 was a ballot initiative, but lawmakers added laws that affected Oregon Measure 11 in a negative manner without the consent of the voters. Measure 11 needs to be put back on the ballot to be abolished. We need to educate the public to understand how Measure 11 can affect the public and their loved ones. Measure 11 has put away innocent people. We have to stand together, get involved, and make a change in the justice system. Do you have anything to say?
Oh, no, yes, I do. So what I'm saying is I totally agree with this young lady here. And please say your name.
Cynthia.
Cynthia, Sister Cynthia. I totally agree with Sister Cynthia because people are easily put in prison and then their lives are destroyed. And when you're put in prison, there's nothing to do but hope for change or for betterment. And if Sister Cynthia wasn't here on television sharing this very wonderful information, you people out there in cyberspace would know, and eventually your child will grow up and be old enough to be sentenced or put in prison or be taken away from his or her family,
Yes.
and put in prison for a long stay, which is over from 5 years up, and it's like destroying an individual's life. And the judges and everybody's basically in on it. They're saying, "Well, I'm sorry because I'm helpless because I only have to follow these Measure 11 guidelines." And so that's be the way they excuse themselves or exonerate themselves. And then they'll say, the voters have spoken, so we just got to go along with the program. So without Cynthia speaking up for all of you people out there in cyberspace, is saying in the future, it may not be happening to you now, but maybe a friend or a relative or a loved one may be arrested or put in prison and on some hocus pocus trial or crime, and doesn't meet the level of charges. But when you get those crooked lawyers, different public defenders, and I say that because I've dealt with a lot of public defenders, and they just do their bare minimum so they can get paid and send you to prison. And when you get those prosecutors, they're doing their jolly best to put you in prison. They got one function, that's to lock you up. They don't, through hell or high water, it doesn't make any difference. They just want to get the conviction under their belt. And so I'm telling you people out there, pay attention. The information is very important. I wish Measure 11 could get changed, because there's a lot of wonderful people that are in prison under Measure 11 and in prison under, I'm trying to think of the old veterans. They're under the old guidelines, so they bring them back to prison to finish out their sentence. So I'm trying to think of what the name of that is called. But they generally get those big outlandish sentences where they're doing 50 years or 25 years or 30 years or 100 years, and then they'll let you out. But your behavior will be that you're so happy to be free, you'll go out and do something silly, and then they'll put you back in prison under a parole violation, and that's the word, parole. So if you're on parole, then they're just sweeping them all up, because the people that want to continue to get their income have to maintain violating people for parole violations and then putting them, restoring them back to prison, so they all get to sit over those cases. So there's millions of people or hundreds of thousands of people, I don't know how many, but they're on parole, and they're putting them back in prison in order so to guarantee the parole officer a job, and or the probation officers a job. So it's very important. And Cynthia, I'm very happy you're here today speaking on these matters, and she's speaking about juveniles. So, and for all people. And when I say Negro, colored, Black, African Americans, I'm saying that for everyone. So I use the word colored, and I just, white people are colored and everybody's colored. I don't care.
That's right.
But I'm looking at justice for all human beings, and that we all pull together as one and push toward justice for all. And that's what this show is all about. And I met this wonderful sister, and she requested to come on the show. And you know how easy it is for to get on my show. We work clean up to the seconds before this show will go out on the air. But we work very hard and dedicated with sincerity, because our producers of other shows will come and help me make sure that this show gets on the air and is ready by 3 o'clock. And the people that I invite to come on my show, they're always welcome to come on. And I don't care what your grief is. It may be small to you because nobody is saying the same thing, but they'll come out eventually. If you say something that sparks their ear, they'll come out and speak on that subject. And that's what I'm praying for. So on my show, it's very easy to just say what you have to say. And when in the future, Cynthia, if you want to come on in the future, bring more people, more material, or have them come on the show with you, they'll be welcome. There's a big studio that I have. I've been in the studio for years. And we'll get the show out. We'll get your information out there to the people in cyberspace. Is there more stuff you want to play on television?
Yes, there's that one other thing.
Okay.
We want to talk about corruption.
Okay. So while she's looking for that information regarding corruption, I'll just continue to speak. And I'm very happy she's here. And she has a wonderful family, and she's trying to make sure that everything goes well in her life and everybody else's life. And I think that's really terrific. And she's speaking to all you people that are locked up in the penitentiary or in jail right now on your way to the penitentiary. She's talking specifically to you. If you're young or old, her heart goes out to all you people out there in TV land. And I want you to know that. So thank you very much, Cynthia. And she's going to play another.
No, I don't want to play this one.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
No, I don't know how to get it to stop the whole.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, well, what she's about to pull up, it'll come up in just a moment. And
I can't get it up. I need help.
okay, we'll get Brother Tom will come out here and help you get that together.
He knows which one I'm
So
looking for.
here's another wonderful producer that's helping out on our show, and he'll help you get that up.
Great,
Sister
thank
Cynthia.
you. I want to get that other one up.
And
100%
so
conviction.
whatever it takes for you to get your information
Thank
out there,
you.
we have laptop
There we go.
computers, we have cameras, all kind of equipment, Portland Community Media, all that equipment is available to all you people out there in the public so that your information can go out far and wide. And then I'm going to be on YouTube. This show here is running right now on YouTube, and all that information will be available to any and everybody. So if you don't have a television set, go to the library and look at this show today. And today will be under Cynthia's name today. And today is the 6th of 3/6/2016. So whenever you want to look at it and repeat it, you can do that, please.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. I want to bring this up as well. Are they going to bring it up?
Oh
on the
yeah,
screen
whenever you're
there?
ready, Sister
Okay.
Cynthia.
Right, here we go.
Here we go. Amen.
This is from Washington County Sheriff's Office in 2008. These are the stories that make the Lone Ranger, Batman, and Dick Tracy jealous. The various divisions of your sheriff's office periodically report status of their operations to the sheriff and his executive manager. In this latest report, there were a number of very impressive performance records. Sergeant Michael O'Connor, the Violent Crime Unit Supervisor, reported a 100% conviction rate with these serious felony cases go to trial. While the format reported covered a limited time, Sergeant O'Connor explained that the Violent Crimes Unit 100% conviction rate has been running for a very long time, and it's still running. And violent crimes fall under Measure 11 with mandatory minimum sentence. So 100% conviction rate, there's something wrong there. Very wrong.
And I totally agree with you on that 100% conviction rate, because I had been to prison. I went to prison under a Measure 11. So I know that there were lies told, information, misinformation, and when I fought it and pursued it to bring justice around, none of these lawyers worked in my favor to try and bring the issue to justice. They just want that 100% conviction rate and try to destroy my life. And I'm saying, if they put you in prison and you're gone for 6.5 or 6 years or 3 months of your life, you can't never get that back. And then you want to sue them, and then nobody wants to help you. Everybody acts like mum's a word. Everybody acts like they're stuck on stupid and don't know. But there's all kind of wonderful people that I met in prison that were there under real erroneous charges. But as far as I was concerned, if they're not fighting the case, maybe they do got a case against them. So that's what the system tries to make it look like. They'll try and go forward with your issue as if you committed a crime when you hadn't. My paperwork will show that they don't have a case. They try to make up a case, and then they try to threaten me or con me into believing that if you don't go along with this, we'll give you all the years, the whole sentence, and they name off many Measure 11 sentences. And then you try to get your brain to spin or your mind to spin it. But when you're right and telling the truth, you don't care. You just want justice, and you believe in, I'll go to court, and hopefully these people will find favor in me. And the sad part about it, I did all the time in prison. My mom had passed about 120 days before I got out of prison. Other wonderful friends and relatives had passed. But that's not the sad part. The sad part is that other people was put on that same go nowhere fast boat to prison, and they're sitting out there serving their time and did all their time because the system is set up for 100% conviction rate by any means necessary. And they sit around like a bunch of lying judges, prosecutors, and defense attorneys working in harmony, trying to make sure that that conviction goes through by any means necessary. And my issues that I'm raising are issues that many people raise. And I used to help a lot of people work on their case. And they had good cases, and a lot of people got good lawyers, and they bought their way out of it. But if you got a court-appointed lawyer, then you're going nowhere fast.
That's true. I agree with you on that.
Okay.
And that's where the appeals comes in as well, because they're threatening them with more time if they should file for that appeal.
Oh, yeah, that's very sad.
And now they're having people come back to the prison and report that they got more time to the other inmates.
That's
so
true.
now they're afraid to file for their appeal.
Okay. Well, you know what I ended up when I was in prison, I was dealing with people. They would tell me when they came in prison, they say, "Look, it was that they had dismissed the sentence." So some people just bought into that lie. The judge would dismiss your sentence to trick you into taking a plea bargain or to go with the sentence that he had given you, and you'd be able to go home that day. And then pretty soon, but if you're a dope smoker or an alcoholic or whatever you do, or a thief or whatever you do, then that violation puts you back in prison, and then you got to do your whole sentence. So a lot of people went back to prison because of their mouth, by just taking that deal, and it was a hocus pocus deal, but they didn't want to go to jail that day. And the problem was, if they don't get you now, they'll get you later, because the whole thing is, again, they want that 100% conviction rate. So if they're postponing until tomorrow or next week or whenever you trip over your own tongue or over your own bad behavior, then you're going to prison. And you've already signed up for it, because the judge already dismissed it, didn't dismiss it, but he said, if you take this plea bargain, and we'll suspend your sentence, and as long as you don't get in trouble for the next 5 years or whatever amount of time that you've agreed to, that will bring you back. And you're so happy trying to leave the courthouse that you're not paying attention to that, and the first thing you do, you go light up a doobie or a joint or some weed or smoke some crack or smoke some weed or whatever you do, and you violate your agreement that you made with the judge, and back to prison or that you go, or to jail you go. So I just want to let you people out there know that you got to be very, very careful, trust God Almighty, and quit getting caught up in these worldly behaviors or people tricking you into making plea bargains and going along with things that where if you did smoke dope and they know you're a dope smoker, then the next time when you go before the judge, they'll ask you, well, because you got so much dope on you, maybe you are delivering marijuana. That's what your going thing was. And a lot of people would, because they're getting charged with a first-time delivery, they would get a smaller sentence. But the deal is working up to 3 strikes you're out, or to going to prison because they're saying, well, we got you for smoking dope, we got you for delivering and selling and delivery and all that other stuff. So you got to be very, very careful, because the system is working to destroy you and enhance their lives.
Right. Well, and there's a case I know of. The young man, 20 years old, called the police for 7 months, almost every single day, he and his mother did, to get help because he was being bullied. And he was disabled.
Okay.
The cops would not help him. Well, they finally told the mother that they were going to set him up because she stood up to him.
Right.
And, where they were living, apartment manager wouldn't help him either. So they did set the young man up. And he he's in prison now, 20 years with no possibility of parole, with 20 years post-prison supervision.
That's sad.
Didn't even do a competency hearing on him. That's an ethics violation.
Yes, that's terrible.
Yes, and they knew he was on Social Security. So now he's afraid to file for his post-conviction relief, because the people keep coming back and saying, oh, you'll get more time. He's afraid he'll get the full 40 years.
Right, because when they make that threat, there's not no idle threat. These are serious threats, and they'll say it with such subtlety and speak in such kindness, you'll think that they're really trying to tell me something, when in reality, they're basically threatening you, and they're not trying to tell you nothing. They're just letting you know that this is the next move we're going to make, and because you've already been in the system, we're going to just wipe you out this time.
Right.
And nobody's going to be able to throw you a lifeline to help you out, except for when you get to go to the law library and you get to go all that good stuff, all that paperwork, like spinning your wheels, going nowhere fast. Because if you've been in the system before, then the system is just going to eat you up, and all you can do is count the days that you have to serve, and that's all you have to pay attention to. A lot of people getting into these jobs now because they're in prison and they got you working for servitude. That's another form of slavery.
Yes.
And they got them working in various companies, and when people call the
They have a call center.
yes, they have a call center, and
Yes.
people call. Prisoners are answering the phone,
Yes.
and getting pitlins for doing that, and so they got
$200 a month.
right. So they're making money.
But they're working 12-hour shifts.
Yes, I believe it. Yeah.
Yes, 5 days a week.
Yes, so they're working them to death, and so they got a business industry, and that's what I was saying. That one time in front of my house, they had some people was cleaning up the streets, and I saw a truck that they were riding in, and it had police lights on, the blue lights and all that, and I was wondering what that was all about, and I was wondering if they were looking at my car or anything, but they were just a part of the cleanup crew. They come and work for the city and do all kind of work. And other people that could get jobs, these jobs, they got people working for slave wages doing these jobs, or for servitude doing these jobs, and it's very horrible and it's sad.
Well, the one inmate that I was just talking about with the disabilities, he's making $27 a month.
Right.
Scrubbing toilets.
I believe it. Yeah.
A month.
Yes. And if it was janitorial work, they would be paying them, have to pay them the wage, the minimum wage today, whatever the minimum wage is, if it's $15 or $10 an hour, whatever it is now, the system is getting that money for free. And they got them working like there's no tomorrow. And it's not like cleaning the toilets at the prison. They're going to places, working at other businesses, hiring them to do the work, or bringing these people in, because they say, well, everybody must work. So now we're branching out to everywhere. And people are saying, well, if we can get me 3 or 4 prisoners to do the same job that we got people that we're paying, we'll take a boatload of these people, or a truckload of these people to come and do the work. And that's what's so very sad. The system is treating people like it's just human cattle, or
it is
like cattle, and just working them through the system. And so when there's no jobs out there to be found, that's because probably you have a prisoner working that job, because he's working for servitude, he or she, so they can clean themselves up, just feeling good to be wearing some regular clothes or being out in society. And when they got to do 3 more years that they have left on their sentence, they'll put them out there where they have under minimum guidelines.
Yeah.
Then you can take them anywhere. But if they're convicted of a sex offense, they can't go out and be in public. But if they're, for whatever the crimes they may have been convicted for, they got tons of people like that, they can go and get these jobs. And they'll be walking in like they're here to work and getting regular pay wages, but they aren't. They're there.
I'd like to hit on a little bit more about the sex offenses too.
Yes.
The sex offender, they have to register.
Right.
They're registered. That's the rest of their life. That's a life sentence.
Yes, it is. Yes.
And as you saw on the video I showed at the beginning, those are consensual relationships. They're not violent. They are consensual. And they're making this, like you said earlier, the public believes that they're violent.
Right.
Because that's what they're making them believe.
Yeah, that's the horror that they're putting before your eyes, you people out there in the public, tricking you into believing that these people are just snatching people's drawers off and having their way with them. And I use the word drawers. That's
yeah,
what I
that's
talk,
cute.
or black folk talk. So
it's all right.
That's what I'm saying. So it's very, very important.
See, he's the laughing one.
For you people out there in TV land to know that they put all these evil spins on conversation and making women afraid for their well-being, and having men and women thinking that, because men can get raped too, that someone's going to take advantage of them and or do things to them, and have done things to them, and they blow the information out of proportion. And again, when you get on Measure 11, and if it's a sex offense, you own that the rest of your life, and they want you to pay at least $70 a year, or whatever the case will be, and you
that's for the rest of your life.
For the rest of your life, they want you to pay, and they want their money, and it's just a scam. Just how can we work you for money and make it easy on society? It's all a scam, and a lot of people that have been to prison, they just go along with the scam because they're caught up under the scam. So pay attention.
They're caught in the system and they can't get out.
Yeah. But it's a crime, because they're saying, we need your money. And if you're retired, you're saying, you're trying to take my last pennies. And they said, oh, well, that's what we do because of you. And that's just a big lie. And so I just want you people out there in TV land to know that if you have some other things that
I do, and I would like to talk more about the younger individuals who lie about their age.
Yes.
And a lot, today these kids look older.
That's true.
And they're promiscuous.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're getting out there, and then they call rape. Or even if the parent consents to it, the state finds out about it, the older one gets arrested.
That's correct.
And they take the parenting away from the parent. Their choice that they made for their, what they want to call a child,
yes,
has now been taken away.
And that's horrible, because if a young lady or a young guy left from home and he didn't get emancipated, then
Yes.
he is still under his parents' rule. And what Cynthia is saying is that when the young man or the young lady it makes it evident to the police that they're in a relationship, but all the time I wasn't agreeing to having sex, or all the time I wasn't agreeing, there's always going to be a way to make it sound like that it was a sexual offense. And that's the deal, is that that person can be brought up on charges based on, by ignoring the parents having given their consent, saying, well, if you moved out and you living with so and so, and if he or she's taking good care of you and looking out for your best interest, then I don't have nothing to say. So they've then left from home for months or years, and then when something happened, they go and say, well, this happened, and they'll want to say, well, how old are you? Well, I'm such an age. And they'll say, and how old is the person that you've been sleeping with? And they'll say, they're such an age. And then they'll say, well, we got a case for a sex offense.
Yes.
And we'll bring charges upon this individual. And if he or she has a real good job, or what they got going, they don't care. It's just a matter of that it's justice for all, but it's really injustice for all.
Yeah.
And that's what's taking place, and that needs to be paid attention to. So Cynthia, I'm glad you're bringing those points out.
Well, they
That's very
do need to
important.
bring that point up about the promiscuous, and kids are doing things
Oh,
today
yes.
that are drugs, alcohol, and then the
believe it.
person that they're with, they're going down for all of that, giving alcohol or drugs to a minor,
Mm-hmm.
although they're old enough to know what they're doing, in my opinion.
Yes.
And then to lie, you know the difference between a lie and the truth.
And what's sad about it is that the only problem is that the person that is drinking alcohol or doing drugs and then saying that so-and-so made it available to me, they can be charged with all these different crimes, but they're saying, well, you should have checked to see if they had driver's license or information knowing that their exact age or how old they were. But some people just look old. They look road worn because they've been out there in life living hard. And now they're whimpering and crying, wanting for someone to be merciful to them, and they don't really care whose life they're destroying, because they want that pity party, and they're enjoying that pity party, and people to take them to their bosom or take them to their chest and say, there, don't worry, we'll put that person away, that evil, horrible person. And that person said, I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm going to jail.
There's also
for
been
nothing.
there's also been cases of them getting fake ID.
Yes, yeah.
And
So what do you
showing
do?
it, and then no, no, I know, and why aren't they not being prosecuted for identity theft?
Right. And they
Because
should
that's
be.
what that is. You had somebody else's ID, and that's identity theft.
And that's what they should be faced with, and the individual that would have been with that person should be able to argue that and saying, well, they showed me ID, but I believed them at face value, but the ID, they had people working at the motor vehicles that was lying and giving out fake IDs, or
They can make
people
them today.
or people could make them on their computers at their homes or wherever, or wherever they can get to computers to make fake IDs and pass them out to get alcohol, liquor, and whatever else they're doing. And then other people are being punished severely for misunderstanding
Right.
of a person having said that they were older and they weren't. And there should be issues of that addressed.
Well, and then the other thing I'd like to hit on with the juveniles that say that, well, they take the sex pictures of themselves and send it to that person's phone.
Right.
You did that. They did that. That's their doing.
Yeah, and that again is making it with a minor, because they're sending you these pictures and they're a minor, sending you these sex
So
pictures.
that individual's in trouble now for pornography.
That's right.
Child
Absolutely.
pornography.
Yes, and all they doing is receiving it,
Yes.
and happy to receive it, because this.
Always happy.
Well, I'm just saying the young lady told him that, or the young guy told him that, I'm old enough to send this to you, and I just thought I'd like to send you a little bit more of myself. And people put that on their computer, and then when they get busted, or get their home door kicked in, or whatever the case may be, they are going to be brought on charges for that sex offense,
Yes.
for pornography on the online pornography, and then they can't operate computers in the future or anything that electronic devices. All that'll be part of the charges against them to make sure that they won't be in that predicament again. But his or her life is destroyed, and that's what I'm saying. The system is set up in such a evil, wicked way that it's looking for to how we can destroy people. And I'm saying they need to be looking for ways to resolve and solve these problems for everyone to benefit, and not just for taking the one that's trying to do what's right and then get themselves in a relationship with someone and only to find out that she or he then have destroyed them or tricked them into a horrible situation. Very important, and I'm happy you spoke on that, because a lot of women or men, I'm certain, that they'll send you pictures of themselves. You don't have to do much coaxing to get them to send you pictures. Just show them that you're interested, and the more they show you, the better you like it, and that's all part of the eyes get bigger than your body. And
Well, I've seen one case where the girl said, he made me do it. Well, how did he make you do it?
Right,
because
right.
he wasn't there. You did it yourself,
Absolutely.
and you sent it to his phone.
Right.
He didn't strong arm you.
And her conversation is going further than his conversation.
Yes.
Because she's saying he made me do it, and they're trying to say, well, if he enticed her, or she felt fear or felt afraid, then and he made her feel that way, then we have to really go with her conversation. And she's doing this all over the place, or he's doing this all over the place. But we need to be more fair as bringing people to justice than trying to get that 100% conviction rate and destroying people's lives, because it's a marathon, the destruction of human life. And that needs to be addressed, and that's what Cynthia is addressing right now for all you people out there in cyberspace. She's letting you know that, look, quit being asleep, wake up, pay attention, and stay strong and stay focused.
And they also need to, I think parenting is very important with your individual who is being promiscuous. If you know they are, you can do something about it, stop it before it gets to that point where they're going to get someone in trouble other than themselves.
Well, they used to, even to this day, people go out and they do prostitution. They go out there and get on the street because they need money. And if they're doing drugs, they're easier to entice into bad behavior. And in doing so, they're giving head jobs for $6 or $2. Yeah, they're doing that kind of stuff. And I'm going to pay that movie in the future for you, because it was a young black woman, and I got it on the internet, and I'm going to play that movie in the future. And she was saying that she used to go out and do things for money. And when you don't have money, and if you're hooked, and if you're doing cocaine or heroin or anything that takes advantage of your inner person, then you're more or less just out to do or be in any kind of behavior that it takes to suffice your worldly needs or your financial needs. So the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak, and you have to continue to strengthen the flesh. Yeah. Continue to strengthen the body and let the flesh let it go ahead and kick that to the curb, and bring the spirit of life to you, and stay in God Almighty's will and be strong. And that's what my show is all about. In God Almighty we trust, and that's what I promote all the time, every day, and play to win. And that's what Popeful Community for Justice is all about. That's what I'm all about. And when I meet people, I'm inviting them on, saying, come to Popeful Community for Justice. You're welcome to be on the show and say what you have to say. And you can speak on anything. And that's why when I made this statement about the draws or landing with people, and I used to have and I normally on my own show, this is my show too, but I generally will bring a puppet dog and a puppet donkey. And the dog would be the female dog, and I would call that the bitch, and the donkey would call that the ass. And it was really to protect black people. So when they come on the show and the police had called them a stupid ass bitch or something like that, I would use that puppet dog so that people could relate to knowing that people can be very disrespectful, and you can psychologically be worn or torn down from that disrespect, and then they start disavowing that they said it. But bring all your information, and we'll play it on television, everything. If you got it to read or to show, we'll put it all out there in cyberspace for everybody and their mama to know or to see it. And Cynthia, I really am happy that you're bringing all this information forward, because she's a wonderful sister, and I thank you very much. So please
Thank
continue.
you.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to bring up juveniles again, falling under Measure 11.
Okay.
Because they some of them are going to the prison under adult crimes.
Right.
They're not adults. As you saw in that video that I produced or showed you, they're not even developed.
No.
They're not ready for going into a prison. What's that going to make them when they come out? Because they weren't parented by a parent or by an individual. They're being parented by a lot of, and could be very violent people.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you're going to be parented apparently by a bunch of very violent people, and you're going to start carrying on in their behaviors.
Yes.
Dominating their behaviors in your life, because that's what it takes to survive in the prison life. So you'll start carrying and conducting yourself in a way where you're going to be submissive, or you're going to be a person that be in charge and take charge. So you'll beat the brakes off people, or you'll concede and go along to get along. And that's what's so horrible, and it's very important that generally when they used to put them in juvenile, they would put them in juvenile till they were 25, and that would be it. But now they're saying, well, you're old enough to be tried as an adult, so we'll just throw you directly into an adult prison. And that's the horrible thing that you make a reference to.
And see, that's where the justice system's making it confusing to the public, is that it, excuse me a moment, they're making the public believe that in one hand, they're a child.
Right.
They're a victim then.
Right.
But on the other hand, emancipate them at the age of 16.
Right.
They then say that's not a child.
Right.
You're putting them out there as an adult. Make up your mind. Which is it going to be? They are one or they're not. They're not. And psychologically, they're not.
Right.
I even know I was too young.
Yeah, and that's very important. But a lot of time when they get emancipated, it's like their parents are saying, I'm no longer going to be held responsible for whatever my son or daughter do at this point. So if they go out there and commit a robbery or kill somebody or do anything, they're not going to try and sue me and take everything that my husband and I worked hard to acquire or to make possible. So they get emancipated. Some parents don't do that. They'll just, well, if you're gone, we'll just wait, and whenever you bring her hot ass home, we'll be cool with that, or he, or whatever the case will be. The streets will chase them back home. But you may have done a whole bunch of evil stuff to yourself, or had people do evil stuff to you. And now you come back home and your mind is definitely, your mind has expanded according to the world, and you're bringing all these evil ways into the household. And when a mom or dad go to work, or a mom goes to work, you got the whole house to yourself, and now you're running a little prostitution ring out of the house, a boy, a man or a woman, or a boy or a girl. It doesn't make no difference. Or you're sitting around smoking dope or getting high or doing different things, and or selling drugs out of the home or things of this nature. So,
And it puts the whole family at risk.
it puts the whole family at risk, and that's very, very true. So what do? It's damned if you do and damned if you don't. And that's the sad part about it, is that society isn't trying to work with people that have family and children that are basically dysfunctional as far as mentally, as far as the mental capacity is concerned. So they're trying to make their children better, and they want them to be better, because when a baby comes out of a woman's womb, she wants the best child that she can raise, or be the best mom she can be. But with no money or no income, or with little money and to no income, or with great money, and as long as you don't have a man to it all works against you in such a way, because you got to do all this stuff by yourself as a parent. And if it's a man, then he has to do all this stuff by himself as a man. So, because I raised my children as a single parent, and I know a lot of people women have raised their children as a single parent, but I got wonderful ex-wives, and I'm happy with that. And to make sure that their sons and my daughters were raised right and everything went real well. So I'm just saying that it's work, and more work. But when I use the word Negro colored black African Americans, I'm just saying that the Negro race has to be more in line with. I was raised by Negro parents, and they worked hard to try and make life better. And I've always worked hard to try and follow their instruction and rule and to make things possible. But when you get caught up in this worthless system, no matter how hard you work or what all you do, the system will ruin you or try to ruin you. But just stay strong and stay blessed and quit being afraid and quit bowing down to all these bad behaviors, because those bad behaviors are going to follow you the rest of your life if or be around the rest of your life. So just be strong and pay attention.
Yeah, because once they go to the system in prison,
Right.
That again is a lifelong sentence. It's
Right.
going to stay on your record. You cannot expunge certain felonies.
Right. No, you can't. And then they'll use the term, you can have it expunged from your record. But that's just a nice way of saying we forgot about it until you go to court again.
Yeah.
And they bring it all back up and throw it in your face as if, well, you did this before and we're bringing it up now because this is the same behavior as was way back when. And you're saying, no, it's not the same behavior, but they're treating you like, well, you're just lying. So we're not going to go with you, argue with you about this. This is what we're going to do. And if you don't take this plea bargain or deal, we're going to just destroy your life. But they won't use the word destroy your life. They'll just say, well, we'll just go on, move forward with the major sentence, whatever that is, measure 11 or whatever sentence.
Yes, mandatory minimum.
Yes, and whatever sentence they're trying to impose on you. And then if you sit there and look like you're going to argue it or fight it, then your lawyer will sit there like crabs in a basket waiting to pull you down to the prison system or to jail or destroy your life, because their function is just like the Bible says, kill, steal, destroy. People have that kind of attitude toward other human beings, and they can kill your life, destroy it by standing there going nowhere fast, doing nothing in your favor.
Right. And they're not developed yet, and they're not going to have a chance in life.
No.
Not even as an adult.
Yeah, it's once you get a job and you tell people, I have been around for 5 years or 6 years, they want to know, why is that big gap in your resume?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you're trying to say, well, I have to tell them so. Yeah, I was in prison for this or that or the other. And they're shaking or quaking in their boots because they look like, well, why would I want to hire you? Some people will say, yes, I'll hire you, but they know that I'm going to get paid either more money for hiring you by having extended that olive branch to you, or and then if they want to come and pick you up, I'll be the first to yell out that, yeah, he or she did it, because they weren't here today, and we won't vouch for them or say anything favorable about that individual. So most people will try and shinny out of trying to help you. So it's very important that you continue to just let your life be known. What are you doing? How are you operating? And that you're not doing nothing shady, and try to stay away from shady people or shady situations, because the police will pull you over and try and go through your car or put stuff in your vehicle. Or most people will try and think, well, that was back in the old days. That is in 2016. And so who did it or what did it, I don't know, because I'm not putting myself in a position to get played out of pocket. But I'm paying very strict attention to when people talk to me. And when people get out of my car, I'm trying to make sure they take everything that they brought into my car with them, and not try to leave nothing behind. And it's just very important. Pay attention and play to win and stay safe.
Yeah, and that's where some, like you were saying, they would say, oh yeah, because of your shady background, I'm not going to vouch for you. But also we're looking at hearsay.
Right.
Hearsay. Somebody can just say something and they're going away.
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
true.
it's all about what they want to say and who the police are going to believe.
And I believe that. Yeah, that's true.
Or who they choose to believe.
Well, in my life, I got a lot of people that I love and I care about. And I used to give a lot of people hugs and kisses, because through blessings, I'm just used to giving women hugs and kisses and saying hello and goodbye and all that kind stuff. But then the system will look at it, well, maybe they'll try and interpret it as if I think he's trying to make a move on me, or trying to be with me, or trying to be extra friendly with me. And I'll just be looking at them like, what? But I never invite the people to my home, or if they come, they're welcome to my home. Unless I think they're up to something, then I just walk to the door, or if you need to use the bathroom, just get in and get out. But it's not like trying to invite people in to sit back and get comfortable, because I don't drink, smoke, and get loaded, never have. And so I'm just trying to let people know that you're welcome to come in my home, because it's my home. But, present yourself in a manner which you are planning to win. and to do what's right for all
Honesty.
individuals. Yes, because honesty is very important.
Yeah.
And people first are always checking you to see if there got to be some kind of bad behavior in you. And I don't drink, I don't smoke or get loaded, so why are we here? And that's what I want them to understand. And if you think I'm trying to sleep with you or be with you or think you're entertaining those things, I bring that right out immediately to let them know that's not happening. So don't try to play me out of pocket or act like you're trying to whisper no sweet little nothing in my ear, nothing like that, because I really don't care.
There was a teacher at one time, a female,
Yes.
who hugged a student, and all of a sudden she's in trouble for sex crime because her breast touched the child.
Yes, yes, and that's terrible because how do you hug someone without your breast touching the child?
You can't.
Or how does he
That's the
hug
way
him?
it is.
Or with his body not being close to her body? So if he's a man or a young man hugging a woman, or if she's a woman hugging a young man, so there's always ways of misinterpreting. Thank you, Brother Ron, of getting that information misinterpreted. So please go ahead. We have 5 minutes. Brother Ron would let me know we have
Okay,
5
thank you.
minutes left. Yes.
Well, thank you. I've enjoyed your show. It's been good.
It's been a great pleasure having you on.
Informational. I'd like to come back again with more information.
You're welcome, 100% welcome to come
Measure
on.
11 is really probably a lot more to the prison system than what people really see. I think even in the sex offenses, we have over 60% convictions in that.
That's
now,
horrible.
recently, it's been a fact that there's been D.E.A. cases that haven't been given to the crime lab or
Right.
sitting on a shelf, and that's what I'd like to hurry up and talk about here in our 5 minutes. It's right here. You know, there are 5,000 rape kits in 1 year that were sitting on untested evidence shelves.
Now, this is in the state of Oregon.
Yes.
Okay, good.
And I'm just like, what now? Washington County has 333 of them since, I can't give you the date on those. But I'm looking at that thinking, how many of those people are sitting in prison
Right.
with no DNA evidence on them, just with a threat made to their life?
And that's because the system has gotten people believing that people do these DNA tests and that they do everything very thoroughly. And as Cynthia is pointing out, no, they don't. That information, they're just saying that we're going to present it, but they don't present it.
That's like a hearsay.
Yeah,
Once
it's all
again,
hearsay. Yeah.
And when they say, well, so-and-so said this, that is hearsay. Were you there? No, I don't think the district attorney was there.
Right.
So it's all hearsay.
And being locked up in prison on hearsay, you have to be able to fight these cases. But when you table the information, what lawyer is going to come to your aid, or what defense attorney or what prosecuting attorney is going to listen to your information, when the deal is we're trying to get that 100% conviction rate, and we're pretty much getting patted on the back and glorified, and the things that we need to be doing, we're not doing, and that's trying
The
to...
district attorneys, yeah.
Right.
I mean, there's some really good criminal defense attorneys out there.
Oh, yes.
They're just very difficult to find or expensive.
And that's what I'm looking for right now. I wish some defense attorneys would come on the show. They're welcome to come on.
And I will try to get some on here.
Well, please do, because we need defense attorneys to come out and speak their heart, to take all the negativity that I'm spewing out there in the cyberspace about these court-appointed attorneys, because these guys, a lot of times when I get them, they're bought up attorneys perhaps already, but when they become court-appointed attorneys, they do a lousy job. And I'm just saying, maybe you got some well-paid defense attorneys that do better jobs, and you need your case better investigated and gone through more thoroughly.
Yeah, and the public defenders actually have, I mean, they're working for the indigent. So they have less chance of even getting the state to pay for witnesses or doctors maybe even that need to come in and testify to things.
And that's
So,
true.
Yeah,
I
so their
agree with
funds
that.
are low.
Yes, and when the funds are low, that means you goodbye, you're going to prison.
Yes.
Yeah, because nobody's making
Yes,
money.
you are.
Yeah, nobody's making money available to fight your cause, and and that's what.
But and see, here's the thing, though, and I know a very wonderful private investigator from criminal defense that I've watched do his job and hand over exonerating evidence, and then the attorney he hands it to chooses to use it or not.
Yes.
And
Wow.
when they don't use it, it's not the investigator's fault at all. It's the attorney that he gave it or she gave it to
Okay.
chose not to use it.
Oh, and that's very important. So we have about 22 seconds.
Oh,
Anyway,
okay.
I'm Apostle Cecil Hatchett. I want you people to know that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
We'll get you, if you want to come on the 13th, we're going to be closed, but after the 13th, we'll get you on.
Yeah, because my
And I'm sorry. Oh, can you hear me? Hear me now? I forgot to even. Okay. Okay, she can hear me now. Okay. Need for Justice. Say your name.
Cynthia Lester.
Cynthia Lester is here today, and I have Cynthia Lester here. And what's the name of your program?
Abolish Oregon Measure 11.
Abolish Oregon Measure 11. Okay, so that was it right there.